So is the care magnet the best algae scraper in the world? I would say so, and after this video you might think the same, and I really doubt that you find a better one than ours. Basically what I'm going to show you now is the full range and then all the add-ons for the care magnet, okay? The smallest one is the care magnet Pico. This one is for 0.1 to 0.2 inches or up 3 to 6 millimeters. It's a very basic small device. It's manufactured to be affordable, but still it has all the features of the care magnet. I'm going to show you what's the main feature of it. It's the blades, and only the blades are touching your glass. So there's always a gap where the sand can fall. It's very, very unlikely that any sand can scratch your glass. There is still a chance, but I can promise you that we did our best to come to a point where it's very, very, very unlikely. So this is the smallest one. The next bigger version is the Care Magnet Nano. On this version, you're already getting some upgrades, and one of the most important ones, you have spare blades. If the blades are wearing out on this unit, then you have to throw away the whole device. Here you can easily change them. You can just push here and then you can install another blade if you want. This one here is also stronger. You can see the blade has a similar size, but it's a little sleeker. This one here is from 6 to 10 millimeters or from 1/4 inch to 3/8 of an inch. Here it is, the real care magnet for the real reefers around you. We have 3 different sizes. They all look similar because in fact the housings are the same, all the accessories are the same, but in the inside there are different magnets. Speaking of magnets, we are manufacturing this device, meaning we buy the magnets, but everything else comes from very good suppliers here around Bavaria or around Germany, or we manufacture it by our own. All is done here in-house. We do have the Care Magnet Long. This one now starts at 3/8 of an inch and goes up to 1/2 inch or 15 millimeters. This is the most sold unit because this is a typical thickness for your glass. Then we have the Care Magnet Strong. When this ends here at 15 millimeters, this one starts at 15 millimeters and goes up to 20 millimeters or 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch. And then we have the most extreme version. This one here starts at the 20 millimeters, goes up to 25 millimeters or an inch. It's from 3/4 of an inch to 1 inch. One of our friends that we visited for this channel, he has a public aquarium and there he has 30 millimeter glass, so it's more than an inch. And he still is using these. He said it works. You have to be a little slower, but I appreciate them. When you buy an algae scraper magnet, you always have to look for the thickness of your glass. This is a number you typically know, and then you can decide which magnet you should buy. On these here, very often, at least here in Germany, we have 15 millimeter glass. So the long and the strong would both fit. Which one then should I buy? I will always recommend that you choose for the stronger one, not because I want to earn money. It's simply because I like it if it connects tougher, if it's really tight, and you can move it very, very fast and without losing the connection. But this is my personal opinion. The Care Magnet Long is still very suitable, also up to 15 millimeters. So what's inside the box? You see this 5-year warranty here. Yes, we offer 5-year warranty globally on this device. Not on the blades, not on the parts that wear out, but on the handle itself. The handle is not ultrasonic welded, but it's potted like all our pumps. So this is a very, very strong procedure. If this drops to the ground, nothing breaks. Maybe the blade, but you can replace it. But this is a cushion here that protects it. And even if this handle drops to the ground, it's very, very solid. So you don't have to fear of any leakages or any corrosion in your tank. Typically, when you unbox it, you have the manual that I guess you throw away anyway. And you have this made in Bavaria with passion card here that we put in all our boxes for all the products we manufacture. So then here you have these caps. I appreciate them. Very often you have a tank, let's say with a white cabinet like the one behind me here, and you want to give it a personal touch. Then you can choose one of these colors. Standard is this blue. And you can switch to white, for example. Doesn't it look nice? This is a feature of the care magnet that is also patented. You don't have to use this huge handle. It's a foam, it's food grade, it's super, super tough and stable. You can hardly destroy it. I mean, you know what I mean? It's very, very tough, but still it's nice in your hand. So you can disassemble it, just push here on the head and on the other side as well. This is like on your computer mouse. It can glide on the surface of your glass. So now you could use the cam magnet in this way. You have a smaller handle. It looks way more decent on your tank, but it's a little, you need a little, stronger fingers. An upgrade that you can do is our Care Magnet Premium. It's a very premium product. It's made from artificial tropical woods, but it looks completely similar. It's all machined here in the Varia. I mean, if you know the milling process, it's not easy to manufacture. Also, this is then hand sanded and it's coated very, very well. And you have the magnets here, also with a gold coating. You can attach this magnetically. There's one side, by the way, that doesn't really fit very well, and one side that's working great. And then you have the super premium car magnet here, but I guess you would prefer using the black ones here. This is of course not necessary, but it's classy. So on the other side, you have the wet side here. Here you have the two blades. Of course, you can also disassemble them here. And by the way, they look similar because they are similar. You could always use the spare blade of the Care Magnet Long also for your Care Magnet Nano. Very often we get questions, where is my metal blade? And actually, yes, the metal blade is over here. It's always this tiny piece here. It's made in Solingen. It's one of the regions in Germany where all the metal and the knife and the blade industries is located. This one is made by Lutz Blades, also here in Germany, in Solingen. This metal here is a little bit magnetic, but it can stay in water 24/7. You can completely leave it in your tank. You will never see any corrosion on it. One of the advantages of this blade, I can show you how to assemble it. It has two sides. So they first make these blades here razor sharp, and then they modify it so it's still a sharp corner, but it's not, you cannot, cut your fingers. But it still cuts through coralline very, very well. And think about it, you have two blades, so you can use it in this rotation. After a while, you can just switch it and you have a second life in your blade. Speaking of lifetime, I'm using my blade for a year now. I have not any damage to it. Most likely, I might use it for years in my tank, actually. Very often we get the question, can I use the Care Magnet also on acrylic tanks? And actually, the metal blade here isn't the best idea, but also we have customers that appreciate their plastic blade here on their acrylic tanks, but we don't recommend it. The only blade that we can recommend is the smaller one, as they use different additives, and this one is softer. Also on your acrylic tank, what you don't want to use is these brackets here. So on acrylic, we definitely recommend modify it like this and only use this felt strip here. Be careful, acrylic is very, very sensitive. Even if you're using the Care Magnet only, you can still scratch your glass, but this is the most sensitive way to use your Care Magnet. Also, a question we often get is, do I have to use these brackets here as well? Because obviously they are reducing the gap between my Care Magnet and my glass, and they increase the risk of scratches. So the answer is yes. As I told you, you can disassemble it. It's shaped in a way that it's still, let's say, hugging the Care Magnet and it's still holding it, okay? It will float, it will work, but this is only to make it super secure. And without them, you have a wider gap between the glass and the housing of the Care Magnet. This blade here is definitely corrosion resistant, But you know what can happen? So that might scratch your glass. Sometimes there can be little snails or other deposits growing on your blades. If you leave them in tank really 24/7, then your care magnet is starting to be an ecosystem of its own. Some deposits, some snails might one day cause scratches on your tank. So if you leave it in the water, always make sure that it's, you know, as clean as necessary. Let's talk about spare parts, because you have 5-year warranty on the handle and this will definitely last very much longer. But for a premium product to survive as long as possible, you need to replace the parts that wear out from time to time. So let me show you what we offer. We do have the plastic blades in a set with 2. We do have the plastic plates in a longer version in a set with 2. We also offer a set where you have the metal blade, the long plastic blade, and also this bracket here in one box. And also we are offering the metal blades in a set of 3 and actually in a set of 20 blades. Yes, there are customers. This is nothing we did because we thought about it. It's customers are demanding for 20 sets because the care magnet is very popular and some shops are using 20 or 30 units and then they want to replace a lot of them at once. So from time to time. Also a part that you might need, these felt strips here. If you're using them on your glass, after a while they wear out, they get dirty. You can also replace them whenever necessary. This really depends on how you're using it, how often it gets wet. And one very, very important information for you. For all these plastic plates, we always offer this little pin here. Do you really need it? So actually, you can fit this in here and you can hear a click. Okay, and this definitely holds, yeah. But from time to time, you know, they are tiny, you're switching the blades, you might lose them and you might get frustrated. So please always think about it. In all these packages, we are offering this pin here as a spare part. So let's summarize all the features of the care magnet. Here now we have it in a real tank. This tank is 10 millimeters, so obviously you would go with the care magnet long. So what makes the care magnet long special here? You can clean up to these corners here. You can really go in the sand and you can see the sand will always fall off. And it's, as I said, super unlikely to get any scratches. The next cool thing, you can leave the care magnet in the tank. And yes, you can also easily go around the corners. This is one of the things that is patented on the care magnet. That's why you only see it on our device. The one side is much shorter. This short blade can, you know, pull in the corner and stay in connection while the longer blade is increasing the distance between the two sides. You see? And this really helps to go from one side to the other. And if you are used to it, you can be fast. Okay, it's swimming obviously. So this one is brand new. This one here is one of the classy ones, one of the older ones. Here you can see how a care magnet might look after years. A few deposits, the bracket not mounted. This one is still greatly working. And it's, as I said, a little bit more decent than with the add-on. But actually, this is also one of the features. You can either use it in this slim way or in this handy, in this convenient way here. So thank you very much for staying with me up to this point. I hope you learned a lot about our care magnet, about its strength, and maybe it's useful for you. Hopefully we have answered all your questions. If not, don't hesitate to write comments down below. We do our best to answer all your questions. As always, thank you for watching and see you in the next video.